Hi baseball card fans. This is a brand new video that I wanted to do and on my baseball card collection, specifically my Mickey Mantle collection. And the one thing I wanted to make sure to do is give a shout out to some of the other YouTubers out there that actually have kind of influenced me in my collection in the past few months. First off, if you notice the backdrop there, that's the same backdrop that New York Yanks fan 7 has in his, and I must have watched his video on his Mickey Mantle collection probably about 20 times so far. It's an awesome collection, really good quality video too. So I wanted to show off what I've actually done in my Mickey Mantle collection in the last few months. So to give you kind of a history, I was a collector of baseball cards starting in 1981 when I was 10 years old. Collected through the late 80s and then totally quit for the last 30 years. Always vowed to come back and collect, and wanted to collect everything I couldn't get as a kid. Had no idea that the era that I collected was going to be called the junk wax era. I had no idea up until just a few months ago that there were graded cards now, like SGC and PSA. So this whole collecting has really kind of been new to me, and YouTube has really helped out a lot in the last few months. So without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and show you my Mickey Mantle collection, and starting off with the 1969 Mickey Mantle, last name in yellow. So what's really interesting about this card is, I believe I had this card as a kid. My cousin in the early 80s let me go through some of his collection that he had as a kid and said I could take some of the doubles from him. So I had a Mickey Mantle that actually had a mark on the back, and this card has the same mark. So that's really kind of interesting. So 1969 Mickey Mantle. Moving on, we've got the 68 Mickey Mantle. And then the 67 Mickey Mantle. So what was really kind of interesting, I was on Net54 and I was looking at some of the checklists they had for the Mickey Mantle collection. I got this card a few months ago, and then somebody actually stated that there was another card. If you take a look at it, that card has a little dot over the S, and then this one doesn't. So there's a couple different variations of this card. It also kind of talks a little bit about how two cards that are graded a 6 can actually be a little bit different in quality and eye appeal. So that's my 67 Mickey Mantle there. Moving on, we've got the 66 Mickey Mantle and a PSA 4. So obviously I was on, Mickey Mantle cards hold their value. And so I was trying to look for the best card for the value on a lot of these. So I do have a lot of 4s in this collection here, with the exception of this 1965 Mickey Mantle. Beautiful card, really hard to find centered. But this is a good example of a 7. Still a little bit off center, but a nice card nonetheless. And then moving on is the 64 Mantle, and the back of it, and then the 63, another one of my favorite sets here. Probably coming up here, you'll see the 1960 and 56 is one of my favorites. So that's the 63 Mickey Mantle. And then, hard card to find in good condition, without spending a fortune on it. So that is the 1962 Mickey Mantle. This is in a 4. So, decent centering. There's the back there. And then the 1961 Mickey Mantle. So remember, I got these, I started collecting again, I should say, in December of 2017, so just a few months ago. So it's, and I planned on doing this over the last few years. I was totally out of collecting, but I knew I wanted to get back into it, so I kind of went, you know, wholeheartedly into it, and YouTube's helped out with a lot of this, really kind of helping me figure out how to purchase and what cards to get, and looking at all the other cool collections that are out there. So 1960 Mickey Mantle in a 6.5. You know, those half grades, a lot of times it looks as good as a 7, you know, with a fraction of the cost. So 1960 Mickey Mantle. Moving on again. So this is a 1959 PSA 4. I could tell that this is one of my first purchases when I got back into collecting, because I really didn't notice the centering as much. And so now I'm trying to get cards that are centered better, if I can get them for a decent price. And then the 1958 Mickey Mantle. So in the 58, it's a decent card, but I prefer that Roger Maris card back there. I think that's got a little bit better, it's a better looking card to me, is that Roger Maris. And that's also an iconic card there, the Maris rookie. Moving on, 57 Topps. This is an interesting card because there's a few different variations of this particular card. You notice there's actually somebody in the background there, and in some of the cards you actually can see that person a little bit better, and then they airbrushed them out. So there's a few different versions of this card. Also took me a while to find one that was decent without, you know, paying a premium. You know, this is SGC. Looks good. The color and everything is good on it, and just has some soft corners on that. So really tough year. The next one, his MVP year, you know, Triple Crown year, was the 1956 Topps. So this is a 3. Decent card. This might be a card that I'll look to upgrade in the future, but you know, there's Mantle cards, they hold the price, and some of the cards that are, you know, in the 6 and 7s are you know, you'll pay a premium for those cards. But beautiful card, 1956 Mantle. And then moving on to the 55. So this is a 55 Bowman. Another tough card to get. I think this was probably one of my first purchases back in December. So didn't really look at centering very well on it. I was looking at the color and composition of the card, and so that looked pretty good to me. And then the back of the mantle there. So next on is the 1954 Bowman. Beautiful card, beautiful set. Actually looking to get the there's a Ted Williams card there that was actually pulled from the set, so I'm looking to probably get that in the future here. And back of the Bowman, and then on to the beautiful 1953 Bowman color. Beautiful set. And this is a SGC 4. And the back of that one. And now we're getting into the big years here. So we'll take a look at the 53 Topps Mickey Mantle. Another beautiful card. Probably my top 2 or 3, I would say, Mickey Mantle cards there. So this is a 2. Another card that's you know, it's tough to find in a lower grade that still, you know, has that eye appeal, but a beautiful card nonetheless. So his second year in the Topps card. And then getting into the 52. So we've got a BVG. That's my first BVG graded card here, and that is a 2.5 1952 Bowman Mickey Mantle. All right, and then moving on to the 52 Burke Ross. So actually, I love this card because it looks like his 51 Bowman rookie. You know, company that was only out for a couple years, and kind of hard to find actually. So this one is a PSA 4, and then take a look. You can see the back of that. Hit Parade of Champions. So that is the Burke Ross. And then moving on to the true rookie card is the 1951 Bowman. So it does have the qualifier, so it's a PSA 2 miscut, but it is his true rookie card. So a 51 Bowman. Nice card. And so did I get the 52 Topps? It looks like it's the only base card that I'm missing. And the answer is, I did it. I did it. I got the 1952 Mickey Mantle in a PSA 2. What a beautiful card. Now looking into this, I didn't know there's actually a couple different variations of the card depending on the border, the color of the bat. The bat is a lot more yellow than what I thought it would be. The signature, there's a couple different variations of that. You know, so I remember this was 30 years of saving my pennies, and I told myself I was going to get the Mickey Mantle 1952 Topps, the Holy Grail. So here it is, 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. I also have a couple just kind of random cards here that I got. So take a look here. Got a couple just little random Mickey Mantle cards. Got a 1978 TCMA. And then I've got the 1964 Mickey Mantle Giant card. So what I wanted to do is just kind of give a shout out and say, you know, thanks to a lot of different people on YouTube that actually show off their cards and give some advice out. Obviously, New York Yankees Fan 7, he was a huge influence on this particular video. You know, the other thing is Silver Jackify, Foo 3112, Dead Guy Cardboard. Those guys really have a lot of good information on, you know, undervalued cards or showing off their collection, year in reviews, you know, their top cards. I do have some other cards that I'm going to probably kind of go ahead and go through too. I'm trying to collect everything everywhere back to you know, the 1800s to pretty much 1980, and then a few other variations in there too. So thanks again, and I appreciate it, and look forward to doing another video for you guys. Bye.